So that's supposed to brighten up the flavor, so we'll see. Oh, there it is. I knew I'd find it. So there's the bay leaf. Get rid of that. So we're waiting for this to come to a boil. Here's the andouille sausage. This is stuff I got locally, my farm or food line. Home smokehouse andouille pecan smoked sausage. So hopefully this will be good. It should be. Look good. Smelled good. Here's the bay leaf. Let's throw that away. All right. So I'm gonna bring this back to a boil. Turn it back down, and we'll let it cook for another 30 minutes, 45 minutes. All right. Hey everybody, Mike Chavez here once again. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. All right, y'all. Gonna be cold. Coldest day of the year so far. They're calling for snow in the morning. Gonna be in the 20s all day. So I ain't cooking outside, but I will stay inside and make something that will warm the old tummy, all right, and the heart. So we're going to do some Cajun cooking again, and we're going to make some red beans and rice. So this isn't really going to be traditional because I don't have the stuff, no tasso. I do have, however, Camilla red kidney beans, okay? So this, get from Amazon. I'll leave it in my Amazon store. The link will be below. These are Camilla red kidney beans, and these come from Louisiana, y'all. I kid you not. So, but we don't have any tasso ham or another thing traditional red beans and rice calls for is pickled pork. So we don't have any of that stuff. But what we do have is a recipe from America's Test Kitchen. Okay, so I'm going to kind of follow that recipe, except instead of using all the spices and herbs they call out for, I'm going to use my K-Fred Cajun seasoning. So, but the first thing we're going to do, this is the night before, we're going to go ahead and brine these beans. Okay, so I'm going to get these beans back here. We're going to make some salt water up. We're going to brine them, and then in the morning we're going to rinse them. We're going to put them in a colander, rinse them out, and then we'll go from there. Okay, y'all? So when we come back, so I'm going to brine these, and then in the morning when we come back, they'll be rinsed and ready to go. So y'all stick around. This is going to be really good. Red beans and rice, y'all. Let's do it. All right, now, brining the beans. Okay. Now, the advantage to brining them is they'll be seasoned all the way through, and it'll make the skins nice and tender, and it'll help with the creaminess of the beans. So what we got here in our Cambro container, we got 4 quarts of cold water. We're going to add to that 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. This is crystal kosher salt. So 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. We'll go ahead and whisk it up. Dissolves pretty readily. Take our beans. This is 1 pound Camilla red kidney beans. Whoop. All right, let me try that again. This is 1 pound of Camilla red kidney beans. All right. So these says right here, L.H. Hayward Company, LLC, New Orleans, Louisiana. Right there. All right. Anyway. Let's open these up. Dump them on in. Alright. Let me get my wood spoon. Give them a little stir. Alright, y'all. So that's it. So we're not going to mess with these no more. Put a lid on them. And we'll come back tomorrow sometime, late morning, early afternoon, and finish these up. Alright, y'all. So, the beans have been soaking overnight. So I rinsed them, drained them. Alright, so what's going in here? So what we have is our 1 pound red beans. I got 4 slices of bacon cut up. Onion, 1 medium onion, small bell pepper, a rib of celery. So we got the Cajun Trinity, peppers, onions, and celery. Alright, got some garlic, about 2 or 3 cloves of garlic cut up, ready to go. Some thyme, fresh thyme, we'll put that in there. What I'm going to use for my general seasoning is my Cajun seasoning. We'll go in there. Alright. We'll put a couple bay leaves. We got 3 cups chicken broth. And we'll put some water also. And we got some andouille sausage. We got, I think this is 12 ounces of andouille sausage cut up in quarters. Alright, so let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and drop our bacon in. So we're going to go ahead and render this bacon. Got it on a kind of medium-low heat in our enamel cast iron pot or Dutch oven. Alright then, so this bacon's browned up pretty nice. I removed 2 or 3 tablespoons of the bacon grease, but I left quite a bit of bacon grease in there. So now we'll add our Holy Trinity, our onion, bell pepper, and celery. Alright. So now, in Louisiana, they're not going to use this bacon. They're going to use what's called tasso ham, which is a spiced ham. Now outside of Louisiana, that stuff's, you ain't going to find it. So that's why this recipe calls for bacon. Alright. Then the andouille we'll add towards the end of the cook, the andouille sausage. So right now, I'm going to let this, the Holy Trinity here, the onions, bell pepper, and celery, I'm going to let this cook down some for about, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes. Alright then, so this is cooked down, starting to stick to the bottom a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my garlic in. Just let that cook just for a little bit, about 30 seconds, if that, just till you can smell the garlic really well. Alright, so we got, let me see if I can get this up. We got our fresh thyme right there. Got a bay leaf, put that in there. Got about a tablespoon of our Cajun seasoning. Our K-Fred I'm using today. We'll let this cook another 30 seconds or so. Let that bloom a little bit, as they say. Now the recipe, I'll leave the recipe below from America's Test Kitchen. It calls, once the garlic goes in, for thyme, paprika, bay leaves, cayenne pepper, and black pepper. Matter of fact, I think I'll go ahead and toss some black pepper in here. But we're using our K-Fred Cajun seasoning instead today. Just to be different. You know me, I gotta be different. Okay, so that's in there. Here's our beans. On in. Give this a little stir. Those beans really swelled up good. Had that little pack, that 1 pound pack. Didn't look like much, but they, after soaking all night, they swelled up. Alright, so 3 cups of broth. Then it calls for some water. And it calls for like 6 cups of water, but I got 4 cups of water here. I'm gonna pour this in, turn my heat on up. So 4 cups of broth, 4 cups of water. We'll go with that. That's nice and covered. I want this kind of brothy. We're gonna cook it with the lid off. I'm gonna let it come to a boil. And then I'll reduce the heat. Let it simmer really nice for about an hour. Alright, this has come to a hard boil. As you can see. I'm going to give it a little stir. Alright, I'm going to cut the heat back just a bit to about medium high. Let me see. It says to leave this at a hard simmer. So let me back it off a teeny bit more. So that looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to set my timer for an hour. Alright y'all, so this has been cooking about an hour. It's nice and creamy, it's thickened up. The beans have tenderized some, pretty tender. So we're going to go ahead and add the andouille sausage. Give it a stir it in there. Keep an eye out for the bay leaf. Alright, I think I'm going to put a little more water in here. I want to make sure this has got plenty of juice for the rice to sop up. I'll go ahead and get my rice started. And then I got some cornbread I'm going to make. So let me go ahead, I'll turn this heat up, bring it back to a boil. The recipe says to add a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. So we got some red wine vinegar here. Alright, that's enough. Tablespoon of red wine vinegar. That's supposed to help because we don't have pickled pork. So that's supposed to brighten up the flavor, so we'll see. Oh, there it is. I knew I'd find it. So there's a bay leaf. I'll get rid of that. Here's the andouille sausage. This is stuff I got locally, my farm or food line. Home smokehouse andouille pecan smoked sausage. So hopefully this will be good. It should be. Look good, smelled good. Here's the bay leaf. Let's throw that away. Alright, so I'm going to bring this back to a boil, turn it back down, and we'll let it cook for another 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Alright. Alright, so she's boiling. So I'm going to turn my heat back down to about medium. Alright, let this cook. In the meantime, we're getting our rice ready. So I got about a cup of rice, rinsed it 3 times, put water in there, cold water. So what you do, you put your finger, and if it comes to the, right there to the top of your nail, right there in that little bit above, that's all the water you want. So you turn this on, bring it to a boil, put a lid on it, turn it all the way down as low as it'll go, give it about 20 minutes, and then shut it off, let it sit for another 20 minutes and the rice will be done. Alright, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get my cornbread together. Alright, y'all. So this has been in here another 30-45 minutes. Looks nice and creamy. So let's go ahead, give this a taste. See if we need to adjust our seasoning at all. Make sure the beans are tender. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to shut this heat off. We're going to put a lid on this. And we got rice going. Let's get the cornbread going. Alright, so in this bowl I have a cup of cornmeal and a cup of all-purpose flour. Now here I'm going to go ahead and put some butter. The recipe calls for 4 tablespoons. I'm just going to put it in here and melt it. I'm going to put this in the oven and get it melted. And we'll use part of this in our cornbread mix. So we got our oven set to 450. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven. Stick this up. 2 tablespoons of sugar. 2. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 2 teaspoons baking powder. Alright. 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. Oh, 3/4 tablespoon of salt. Actually, 3/4 teaspoon of salt. There we go. Might be a teeny bit more. And that's it for the dry. So let's mix this up. In the middle. And actually, let's go 2 eggs. We'll put these first. Alright, beat them up a teeny bit. Alright, so 1 cup of sour cream. Alright, put that on in there. We'll put 1 cup of corn. We got sweet cream corn. Alright. Alright, corn, sour cream, eggs. And that was it. So let's go ahead and mix this up. Alright, looking pretty good. Sizzling. So I want a little bit of butter in here. Mix it up good. Alright, put some more butter in here and let it cool a little bit. Okay, I'm going to leave some butter in there for lubrication. Alright, make sure this is mixed well, which it looks like it is. All right. So, oven's at 450. Now you could do this in a black iron skillet if you want. So we're going to put this in the oven for about 20 minutes. Alright y'all, cornbread is ready. Look at that. Beautiful. Very nice. So I'm going to leave it on this wire rack, let it cool. And I'm going to bring it back, put everything together, and taste. Alright y'all, see you in a little bit. Alright y'all. So, we got our bowl, got our rice. Put some rice in our bowl. There we go. So I like to dress up my rice. Take and put a little pat of butter in there or two. Pepper. A little salt. All right. So let's go ahead. Look at our beans, our red beans, looking good. Put it on top of the rice. All right, here we go. So there we go. Red beans and rice. And cornbread. Alright y'all, here we go. Red beans and rice and cornbread. Let's give this a try, shall we? Alright. Alright y'all, here we go. Red beans and rice. Got our beans. We got our rice. Here we go. Look at. So y'all ready? I'm ready. Taste! Wow. Tell you what, Popeyes ain't got nothing on this. Do another bite. Taste! Mmm. Let's get some cornbread. Alright, here we go with the cornbread. Looking really good. Taste! Oh my. Yes, indeed. So, we got freezing temps outside, wind's blowing like crazy. That's alright, we're inside with a warm belly full of red beans and rice. So I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. Any questions, comments, leave them below. As always, more videos over here you can watch. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button right there, y'all. Alright, see y'all next time.